Happy blessed Sunday, everybody. We are back. Today is May 16th. Time check at 6:13 Eastern Standard Time. And you are joining me for today's episode 84. Episode 84 of our Racing Vibrations a Day at a Time. Oh my God, we have made it this far. Thank you, guys, for hopping on board with me every morning. Today we talk about Chapter 8 of Hal Elrod's Miracle Equation. We finished yesterday Chapter 7, and I'm excited to talk about and move forward with Chapter 8 because this Chapter 8 talks about our second decision that we need to make. The first decision was having that unwavering faith. This second decision is having extraordinary effort and how we can make this really a little less extraordinary. It may seem hard in the beginning, but then it can be this extraordinary effort once you get the hang of it, once you've developed the consistency, can be less or extraordinary than we think, is what Hal Elrod says. According to James Allen, in all human affairs, there are efforts and there are results. And the strength of the effort is the measure of our success. So it depends on how much effort we put in, is how much likely success we're going to get. If you are not one that puts in consistent effort or extraordinary effort, don't expect your success possibility or probability to be as likely as the one who's been putting in extraordinary effort day in and day out. Hal admittedly said that in the beginning, when he was much younger, he considered himself a pretty lazy person. I can attest myself to that as well. I think I've been to that stage. And growing up, the idea of working hard to him was never appealing. And it's not uncommon, I guess, especially for younger folks, that working hard is not always the best thing. That's why they came up with the slogan, work smarter, not harder. But then again, before you start working smarter, you got to start working harder first. And then you develop that consistency. You develop a process that you can start working smarter. That's what most people do not realize. So growing up, the idea of working hard was not very appealing to him. He is one of those kids or one of those people who avoided anything that involves hard work. How many of us are like that? But then again, because of that, he figured out tricks and shortcuts to make his work, to get his work done. And it's okay, you get your work done. You do create shortcuts, but it's not the best option. Sometimes shortcuts are not always the best way. So, his biggest challenge was really to see himself better than he had been in the past because he had always viewed himself as a lazy person, not wanting to do hard work. When anything that involves hard work, he didn't seem to be very interested. This was a potential dysmorphia in its truest form. Remember, potential dysmorphia is when you think something is wrong with yourself, but there's actually not. It's almost like this one. He thinks he doesn't like hard work. He thinks he's just comfortable with the easy stuff. That he looks at himself as his same old lazy self, but truly he has much more capability than that. He is capable of doing much more hard work that can lead him to true bigger success. He also said in this book, in this chapter, he talked about how does a self-proclaimed lazy person can transform into a self-disciplined, hardworking individual who is capable of consistently putting forth extraordinary effort and creating miracles. Is it possible? Yes. Anybody can transform and become better versions of themselves. If you think you were this person who didn't like to do hard work before, yes, you can transform yourself into one that's more self disciplined, hardworking, and capable of achieving anything you want to achieve in your life, creating your own miracles. How do you do this? Hal Elrod said, you need to simplify extraordinary efforts so it feels much less extraordinary. Now, it makes it more appealing because these you thought are hard work can be much more ordinary and much more simpler than we think. He said, believe it's not only possible, you got to believe that it is possible for you. You got to start believing in yourself. You got to start believing that you are deserving of all this. And it's not just possible, this miracle to happen, that it is a possibility for you to achieve it. And once you have realized that, you have accepted that you are capable of limitless potential, limitless possibilities, you then take necessary actions to make the success inevitable. That's what's going to start pushing you to start taking those actions. And when you do, it will require active engagement and sustained effort. You must be willing to put in time and effort to create meaningful results. Remember and look at this. We put in time included in the effort because it's not just you do hard work. You got to put in time to it because you don't just do hard work 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. You got to be consistently doing it every day, every week until you achieve that goal. You're going to try to do whatever it takes every day, every single day until you reach your ultimate mission, your ultimate goal. So, extraordinary effort has three components according to Hal Elrod in this chapter. And one of which that he talked about is that your actions need to move you closer to your ideal results. You can't just be doing anything, but they're not really directed towards your goal or to your mission. You got to do something, work on something that's going to lead you steps closer to your ultimate mission, ultimate goal. You can't just be doing tasks that's just going to make you seem busy. You're doing this and here, left and right. But at the end of the day, have you achieved something really productive that is really more or meaningful to you, meaningful to your goal, that's going to lead you a step closer to that goal? Maybe yes, maybe not. It depends on what you choose to do, what actions you choose to take for the day. He said, do not waste your time on tasks and activities that will yield only short term results or minimal impact. You need to, because all these things, if you just focus on these that cause you to have short term results, will only make you busy. It will keep you busy, but it will also distract you from what truly matters. Yeah, you start flipping the house left and right, but then again, you wanted to change your current financial status because this month has been very rough for you. So, do you just get busy doing unnecessary things? I'm not saying that fixing the house, cleaning the house is not important. You do that, but then again, you start to do and focus more on things that's going to bring in you more money for this month because you realize that this month has been rough for you. So you gotta I heard this from Dan Henry. He said you gotta start with the low hanging fruit. The low hanging fruit are easy to achieve, but they yield good results or long term results. Those are gonna bring your needle closer towards the goal quicker is also one thing to put it. But then again, you need to keep your mind focused so that your actions stay productive. You need to focus on your goal. You need to focus on your missions. That this is the ultimate thing that I want to happen. I want to make my online business succeed. So your actions should be productive, and each day you should carve in your schedule actions that's going to lead you steps closer to succeeding your online business. It has to be consistent. It has to be every day. You got to put in the time. You got to put in effort. You got to put in actions that's going to lead you and move you to your ideal results, which is ultimately making your online business a success. All right. So instead of wearing you down, your actions should energize you. You don't get to do all these things left and right, and then at the end of the day, you just feel tired. You just feel worn down. You just don't have the energy anymore. If you have done something or chosen to do something that's really gonna move you towards your ideal results, even how much effort you put in, how tiring that might be, how tiring that day might be, you don't feel as tired. You still feel energized. You're more motivated to keep doing more. You try to find more ideas. You're trying to find more strategies to improve your business, how to find more clients, to get more leads. You just get more creative. They should be measurable, they should be meaningful. Measurable because you need to be able to assess them at the end of each, maybe a month, a week or so, how often you would want to assess and reassess your goals. He says in the prior chapter, you break down your missions, instead of like a year's mission, you break it down into like a month's mission. You try to aim for short term goals, however, that's going to lead you to your bigger goal, your big term goal. So, actions will most likely move you out of comfort zone are where your growth lies. This is another of the three components. Any action that will most likely move you out of your comfort zone. Who wants to move out of their comfort zone? Not too many. I myself find it hard to get out of my comfort zone because of fear that it might not be as accepted as I had been in the past. I am working towards getting out still of my comfort zone. I have slowly moved out of it. I got to expand that comfort zone out. I'm going to get out of that and then hopefully continue to grow and achieve the real results that I really want to achieve. It feels unnerving at first, but over time, this becomes our new norm. It will become the new set point for our productivity and effort because this is now your new normal. It shouldn't be as scary anymore once you've taken those first few steps. We just need to take action. Like those people who had been on the fence trying to think whether they should start a business or not at age 45 or 50. Take action. Get out of your comfort zone. Get rid of those self limiting beliefs. It's never too late. It's never too late to get started. So, third component he talked about is that effort should be consistent over an extended period of time. And this is regardless of the results along the way. Remember, results are never guaranteed. Results are always a 50-50% chance that you get it. But you got to be consistent with your effort. You got to be consistently doing this over time. You don't start doing a hard work or doing something for your business for 3 days and then you stop and quit after because you're not seeing leads coming through the door. What you do is you reevaluate. Let's say you have an ad, reevaluate your ad. It's not working for you. 3 days, you don't have a lead. Then maybe you need to either change your targeting or change the ad itself, change your creative. You got to do something. Or maybe you need to change your platform. Or maybe you need to try to do warm market. You have to consistently try to do your extraordinary effort over time. And as you do this over time, it becomes easier for you. It becomes simpler for you. And it becomes your new norm. This is how we make extraordinary effort less extraordinary. It seems less extraordinary when you consistently do this over time. And once you start getting out of your comfort zone, maybe unnerving at first, maybe scary at first, but then after some time, you get the hang of it. This is just easy. I got this. You're going to say to yourself. So that is for um, the third part, like we said, the consistent effort extended over time. What he said is that this is the glue that holds all of these together. It's you doing it over time is what holds your, puts your unwavering faith, your extraordinary effort, all of your actions, you getting out of your comfort zone, making it all cohesive, gluing them all up together, and moving you towards much more closer to your goal. Because you keep doing this, you have to put this all together. You have to remain committed for an extended period of time to go the distance. And consistency makes things so much easier. So, he says, we got to expand out of our comfort zone. And once we do, we are able to expand what is possible for us as well. I hope you learned something or a lot from today. Um, Extraordinary effort shouldn't be that scary. It shouldn't be that hard. It may be a lot less extraordinary than we think. It can be a lot easier than we think. We just need to consider all these three components. Tomorrow we will talk about more of chapter 8. And in the next part of our discussion tomorrow, we're going to talk about the steps that we can take to map out which efforts of ours that we will need to do to ensure that we generate our desired outcomes and make extraordinary effort ordinary. So what can we do? How do we choose which efforts, which actions we take to make it seem like our extraordinary effort is just ordinary for us and that we still get to our desired outcome easier, much more comfortable than we had thought would be. So the steps to that will be as follows, which we'll be expanding more tomorrow. First one is we need to predetermine your process. You need to know how you're going to get there somehow. Michael Lusher said, when you make up your desire, you don't really need to know exactly how, but you need to at least have some idea of little steps that you need to take. So that's what we're going to be talking about. You need to predetermine a process. You don't know exactly the rest of the stuff because things come along the way. Roadblocks come along the way. You got to be prepared for those, and you don't know what's coming. But you got to be able to predetermine at least the process, how to begin this. You got to release emotional attachments to your results, schedule your process. You got to safeguard your success with accountability and assess your results and adjust your process accordingly. All these 5 steps we're going to talk about more tomorrow when we come back for our episode 85 of Raising Our Vibrations a Day at a Time. Happy Sunday. Happy blessed Sunday. Let's all count our blessings. I love you all. See you tomorrow.